Nice moves. What? Do what you want to do. Yeah, look at that tail. Look at that fluffy guy. Oh, look at that. Oh, hello. I like it up here. I don't know why I thought that would be entertaining, but it was pretty fun. I wish I could go up higher, but I may break it. I have been using this Tamron lens for probably about a month now, roughly 4 to 6 weeks, around there. And I gotta say I love it. Obviously it has its drawbacks. The reason why I bought this lens was because I couldn't really afford the RF 15 to 35, so I got this lens coming in at a whopping $1,225, and the RF lens, let me check, it's $2,300, so I saved about $1,100. How I feel about the lens: sharpness is incredible. This I believe I have used Tamron like once in the past, but the sharpness on this new series of Tamron lenses, I highly recommend. Let me go ahead and pop this off so I can show you guys what it looks like. The B-roll that you saw earlier was on this lens, except for like the close-up of that squirrel. That was crazy. I was taking video of the squirrel on the Tamron. I realized I needed something closer, so I ran to my car, or I walked to my car to go get the 100mm, and the little guy followed me. He was like, "No, wait, I'm not done modeling." And so yeah, and then we went on this whole adventure. He took me to show him where his nuts were, and his tree nuts. And it turns out there's like tons of chipmunks all over this field, but he was a squirrel, I think, and he was like the king of them, and he wanted to show me his kingdom and show all these chipmunks, so it's pretty cool. So anyways, yeah, so I got the 18 to 35 now on on my EOS R, and the whole reason why I got this lens was to, yeah, number one, replace the RF 15 to 35, right, which would be a way better lens, because with this one I need to use an adapter, right? Second reason why I will eventually upgrade to the RF instead of continuing to use this lens is that it has a permanent lens hood. So in order to get an ND filter on here, I had to actually buy a completely different $150 piece of equipment that goes on here, basically like a matte box, which allows me to insert ND filters over this lens. And on top of that, the ND filters are like $200, and I haven't even been able, I keep having to like send them back because I haven't even been able to find the one that works. So I'm not even using an ND filter on, I haven't even been using an ND filter on this, so I've only been using it in situations where, you know, like nighttime or indoors, where I don't need, where I won't need to blast my shutter. On the B-roll I just took, I had to blast my shutter. You guys can probably tell the difference if you look at a lot of different footage. It's just way better when if you're going for a cinematic look, you want to make sure that your shutter speed is twice your frame rate. So if I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, I want my my shutter speed to be at 48, or in Canon's case, it's going to be at 50. So if I'm shooting at 60 frames per second, I'm going to want my shutter speed at 120 or 125 is what Canon can do. So you don't want to be cranking your shutter just to like let less light into your picture. It's really just not the way to go for the most professional look. It looks really like choppy and digital, almost like you're shooting in a faster frame rate. So yeah, so those are the reasons. That's the big reason why I will eventually sell this lens. Like I was saying, so the other reason why I got this lens is because the 18 to 35 is actually made for a crop frame sensor. So when I throw the EOS R into portrait mode, or I am shooting in 1080 and I'm trying to go all the way wide to 18, it vignettes, so I'm not even able to use that width of 18. This one doesn't vignette, it's made for a full frame camera, so I can go all the way to 15 and be all the way wide in portrait mode, and I'm still going to get, you know, a really nice clean sharp image edge to edge with no vignetting. So that's why I picked up this lens. So I hope you guys got something out of it. I intended to sell my Sigma 18-35 and replace it with this, but just because the ND filter has been such a pain in my back, getting an ND filter on this lens, and it takes up space, and you know, so that's why I've kept the 18-35 for situations where I need that ND filter during the daytime. My last 3 videos with Cody, with G-Word, those are all shot in the 18-35 and the EOS R, so still very useful. It's just when, like, if I'm shooting real estate, I'm definitely going to use this lens, you know what I mean? There's no reason for me, I can't go wide enough without a vignetting, or even wide enough period, to shoot real estate with the 18-35 on the EOS R. So keep that in mind. But they're both great lenses. You could probably find a Sigma 18-35 for about half the price of this lens, and this lens is also half the price of the RF 15-35. So I plan on going through all of them. It's just because of my budget. If you're trying to save on a budget and the ND filter is not that important to you, or you're okay with spending $150 on the rig and $150 on the filter to $250 on the filter, then cool. That still puts you well under, you know, the $2,300 mark of the RF mount. So yeah, I hope you guys got something out of it. This is kind of like my review, my feedback. I love this lens. I know I said some negative things about this lens, but I love this lens. It's great. It's a great size. It's a great weight. It has an internal zoom, so you don't have that boom boom. Same with the Sigma 18-35. Also an amazing lens. Both of these lenses are in my bio, so if you click down the link and you're interested in purchasing one of these lenses, I'd really appreciate it if you use that link down below. They're Amazon links, and it's just regular Amazon links, but you'll help me out if you click on those. I am also going to be dropping some film burns soon, some light leaks, some overlays, whatever you want to call them. LUTs coming soon, overlays coming soon. Stay creative. I don't know, that's kind of corny, no? Stay creative. How about, like, go get that shit.